Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to have a friend join me. We're going to be talking about plants today. Hopefully this will help you in your future plants, and if you've never been interested in plants before, maybe you'll be inspired and maybe you'll go buy some. Before we start out, I would like to recommend a book. Whether you have been into plants for a while now or you're new to plants, it's very, very helpful. It has a lot of detail about a lot of different species. It tells you different light levels, facts and stuff. So even if you've known about plants for a very long time now, it's very, very helpful. So I strongly recommend that. All right, first off, we're gonna do a little Q&A session, share some background information. Hopefully this will help. Question 1, when did you get into gardening and plant keeping?
So I got into gardening and plant keeping in 6th grade. My 6th grade science teacher had a lot of plants, so that kind of inspired me, and also after meeting you. So
Yes.
what about you?
I would say the same for me. My 6th grade teacher did inspire me a lot. She had like a lot of plants. It was just a great thing. Question 2, what's the worst pest you've ever had and why?
The worst pest I ever had was fungus gnats, and once there are a lot of them, they just get really annoying.
Yeah, for me it's probably slime mold when you water it too much and the soil it's kind of slimy on or gets like fungus on the top. It's never a good thing. Question 3, what's your worst plant tragedy ever?
So when this happened last summer, so I was repotting my snake plant in this huge terracotta pot, and I accidentally tripped and the pot broke, and yeah.
That's not good. Yeah, it's bad.
What happened to you?
Mine's worse. It was winter of 2020, and the second greenhouse furthest away from the building completely shut down. The heater broke, and everything in there froze. And we were on vacation, so we didn't know until we came back, and everything was just dead. It was just terrible. It was, yes. Question number 4. What are some funny, crazy plant stories?
I would say none of it, because I'm careful with my plants, so
Yeah.
yeah. What about
I
you?
really am similar. I have one. When I overwater my plants, or even if I water the same amount, it'll come out in the tray, and sometimes the trays will overflow, and they get all over everywhere. So
That's why I water my plants in the sink, so.
that's a good idea. Very good idea. Speaking of tips, let's get into our tips and tricks section. Tip number 1, you should always use your skewer when you're watering your plants. That way that you know if the water gets all the way down to the soil, and it's also good for timing when you know to water, because if it's dry, you know you need to water. If it's wet, then you need to hold off a bit.
Tip number 2, don't over-fertilize your plants, as it will lead to fertilizer burns. If you over-fertilize your plants, your plant will suffer. So too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Tip number 3, choose a plant that will fit your environment and schedule. If you live in a house that does not have a lot of windows, you do not want to get a plant that likes a lot of sunlight. And if you're not home a lot, maybe you get a plant that's a little bit tougher and can go longer without having water. Because if you're not at home, you can't water it. But if you're very connected with your plants and you give a lot of care to them, maybe it's a good idea. You can get some higher level plants. I know there's a lot of carnivorous plants that have a lot of needs, so it's good to know.
Tip number 4, show your plants a little TLC. You need to know if your plant is happy or if it's suffering, so don't neglect your plants.
Tip number 5, don't buy plants without doing research. A lot of people make this mistake, and when their plant dies because they have not researched it, they just think they're a bad plant caretaker and they don't want any more plants. That's not what that is usually. If you research a plant, you can know how much water it needs and how much sunlight it needs, and that's very, very important, because if you just don't, then yes, your plant can die. Also, it's a good idea, if it's toxic, you don't want any pets getting out.
Tip number 6. Use popsicle sticks to label and identify your house plants. Just write the names of the house plant on the popsicle stick and stick it in the stove of the plants. This will help if you have a lot of plants.
Tip number 7. If you're ever unsure about how much light your plant is getting, there's a lot of good apps that'll help you measure the light, and they'll even tell you what kind of plants are best suited for that environment.
Tip number 8. Dust the leaves of your plants. Plants also accumulate dust like any piece of furniture. So dust often using water and a paper towel.
Tip number 9. Make sure you understand the toxicity of your plant in case a pet ever gets hold of it. This happens a lot of times where your pet will go take a nibble of a plant and it may end up getting sick. So it's very important to keep them out of reach if they're toxic.
Tip number 10, the final tip. Check your plants for pests before taking them home. If you have more plants at your home and you bring a plant home which has pests, then you risk your entire collection getting pests. So always check before bringing your plants home.
Alright, that's it for today. Hopefully this helped you. And hopefully if you're new to plants, it will inspire you to go to the store and buy plants. Thank you. Did you enjoy?
Yeah.
I'm glad you came. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.